Good morning, everyone. This is Royce coming back at you with yet another frozen pizza review. And today on the docket we have Totino's. Probably the most infamous of the frozen pizzas I'll be trying on this show. It is pretty cheap. Your average pizza will cost you from Totino's will cost you at most $2. They are going up in price, though, just due to inflation and everything. The 4-packs, which is what I usually get because, spoiler alert, this is the pizza I most often get because, it's a quick meal. 12 minutes, 20 if you add some cheese on top. And you have just a very quick source of calories to get you through your day. So let's dig in. Now, I normally do these a little longer because I usually add cheese or extra meat or something. Y'all saw my intentional food crime last year where I added mozzarella, Parmesan, bagel seasoning, and budding chipped beef or whatever you call it. And the blue cheese was probably the worst part of it. The rest of it I have been known to put on a pizza. Even the budding. If you put it on top, it gets really crispy and oily. So, it's not the best, but, I was in a very cheap phase back then. A very thrifty spender. Man, I tell you, these are probably considered the worst of the pizzas, but I'll tell you what they have over every other pizza. Every other frozen pizza. The crust. The Totino's thin crust is so good, and I don't know why. Now, I think most people are familiar with Totino's pizza rolls, which are pretty iconic pizza snack, or pretty iconic after-school snack. And while the thought would be there that these are basically just the Totino's pizza rolls spread out, that's actually not true. The sauce, cheese, and pepperoni might be, but the crust is something unique. I don't know how to describe it properly. It's very crackery. It's very close to the kind of texture you'd get from an actual thin crust, but a little more processed. It's kind of like a cross between Pizza Hut's or thin crust and a Ritz cracker. Try the pepperoni. Very low quality. Has kind of a mush to it. Doesn't have the chew that a proper sausage should. Sauce, very sweet, which I like, but not a lot of people do. Let's try some of the cheese. That cheese doesn't taste like anything. That cheese reminds me of the undercooked bits of flour, or the undercooked bits of batter that you sometimes get in heavily dredged chicken or fish, where there'll be these tiny little pockets of batter that have turned into sort of a mushy dumpling-like consistency. That's what it tastes like. It doesn't taste like cheese, it tastes like a starch. Again, like, this is the pizza I most often eat, but that's because it's cheap. It's low quality. And I fully admit that you gotta fancify it up with some cheese, or some extra cheese, some special meat. You know, so my lobster pizza. One thing I used to do back when I lived with my mom, I put canned calamari on it, which my mom hated because she doesn't like. No, wait. I don't think it's canned. I don't think it's. There's something that I did that she didn't like, but it wasn't that, because she's not like anti-seafood. She loves seafood. Come on. The one thing I did do was I line the pan with foil. Usually I line it with parchment paper, but lost the parchment paper in the move, so I used foil instead. Also, I think I finally realized what this reminds me of. It reminds me of puff pastry. Look at how delicate and crispy that crust is. Notice the pockets that form in it. I have to wonder if that's like puff pastry is made with a lot of butter. Maybe there's a lot of shortening or something in this. You know, some kind of shelf-stable vegetable fat. That because it's so thin and it's such a high-fat dough that it causes sort of the bubbling, crisping effect that puff pastry does. Because that's what puff pastry does. All the little pockets of butter that you put into the dough create the layers of laminate. And, you know, well, I'm not a baker. You really don't want me describing how to laminate pastry. Despite a very crispy, chewy dough, it is a little floppy. Again, if you make this yourself, I do recommend maybe 15 minutes instead of 12. Just give the cheese a little more time to melt. Is this a high quality pizza? No. Is it a good pizza? To me, yes. But your mileage may vary. Again, it's not like a really good piece of pie. It's junk food. You know, it's literally just taking a bunch of Totino pizza roll goo, slapping it on top of the cheapest dough you can find, and baking it. So let's see, where would I put it? Again, the crust is probably the best part of it. I'd give that about, I'll say an 8, which is high, I admit, but I like the crust. The sauce will give a 6. It's sweet, I like it, but I have to also account for the fact that I'm biased. I eat these a lot. The cheese is garbage. It's a 2 at best. And then the toppings. You know what? No. The cheese is a 1. Okay, the cheese is like barely above 0. And then the pepperoni, I'll also give a 1. It's bad. Like, there's a reason why when I eat these, they're with actual toppings, not that. So let's see. 8 plus 6 is 14. Plus 2 is 16. 16 divided by 4. Wait, what? Oh, hold on. 16. Wait, what? 14 plus 2 is 16 divided by 4 is 4. No, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, wait, 4 out of 10. Oh, I was like, wait a minute. Okay, 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. Or a 2 out of 5 if you prefer. So yeah, it does get the failing grade overall, but I still eat these regularly. If you are also a fellow trash monster, you might like them. If you're a person with actual taste, you probably won't. But that's going to be it for me today. Y'all have a good one. This is Royce Miller. I'm out.